to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, Woke Guidance with Harriet Eve 9. I am your host, Harriet Eve 9. And as you can see from that clip right there, the WNBA is receiving massive backlash because of the no-call cheap shot that Alyssa Thomas delivered to Caitlin Clark. Let's talk about it.
Come through, I think I need you. I swear it's time to keep these feelings to myself. Now you're the one I'm thinking of. My higher ground, my rocket love. For gravity, I'd rather stay up here. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views every night, day. All I wanna hear is the visions that we play. Staring next to you. Trying not to slow. How I feel about you. Push away. You know who you are. I just wanna get away.
On the left is Jolla Country. On the right is Alyssa Thomas. These two are married and they both play for the Phoenix Mercury. Okay, so let's break down the drama. Caitlin Clark plays with the Indiana Fever and Alyssa Thomas plays with the Phoenix Mercury. Now, Alyssa Thomas is married to Jolla Country and they both play for the Phoenix Mercury. Well, they were playing tough ball back and forth. Caitlin and Bonner, Alyssa's wife, they were going back and forth, shoot, shot for shot, three-pointer for three-pointer. Hines Allen, Caitlin Clark's teammate, was going at it with Alyssa Thomas. They were going back and forth, back and forth. Hines was ejected from the game for her tough fouls on Thomas. So now that left Caitlin Clark still going at it back and forth with Bonner. Sophie Cunningham is now going at it with Bonner as well. So while Allen and Thomas are going back and forth, Caitlin starts clapping because she's glad that Allen has her back against Thomas, who has been fouling her hard throughout the entire game, playing hard on her. Caitlin Clark gets a technical foul for clapping. And that's what set Caitlin Clark's fans off when Thomas committed the flagrant 2 on her that was not called by the referees. It wasn't until Caitlin Clark's fans and other people who were watching the game, fans, supporters of the WNBA, and they called it out. They shared the post, the video of Alyssa with her fist in Caitlin's neck, and it was not called. When they shared it to X, of course, it spread like wildfire. It went viral. Caitlin Clark's coach, Stephanie White, spoke about it at her post-game conference, and everybody kept going at it. The WNBA could not ignore it. Caitlin and her head coach, Stephanie White, do not get along. Stephanie has been called out multiple times for not defending Caitlin. So I was surprised to see that she spoke up for her.
I mean, the fist in the throat is crazy. It's crazy. It's dangerous. The landing spot, when you went to review it, and she still comes down on top of another foot, like, I don't know. Because to me, that's like a do-over on a test. How do you screw it up again?
So after Caitlin Clark's fans raised absolute holy hell on social media, trending everywhere on all platforms, they slowed down the video and shared it to X went viral, set social media on fire. The WNBA, being who they have always been, being reactive instead of being proactive. Caitlin Clark has been taking a beating on that court, and she's not the only one. Most of the rookies who came in that 2024 draft class, which is what really started this surge of people starting back to watch the WNBA. Those rookies have been bullied and brutalized on the court by veteran players. So here's what the WNBA communication posted to their X account. It says the Phoenix Mercury's Alyssa Thomas receives flagrant foul 2 penalty and 1 game suspension. It goes on to say on June 25th, 2026, upon post-game review, the Phoenix Mercury Alyssa Thomas received a flagrant 2 penalty and a 1 game suspension for her recklessly making contact with her fist to the throat of Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark. It was announced today by the WNBA. The incident, for which Thomas was deemed to have committed a non-basketball act, occurred with 6:52 remaining in the second quarter of the Mercury's 111-109 win over the Fever last night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Per WNBA rule, the league office has the option, following its review of any game, to reclassify a flagrant foul or to classify a flagrant any foul not called as such during a game, and may impose a fine and or suspension. Thomas will serve suspension on June 27 when the Mercury visits the Toronto Temple. Now, why did it take Caitlin Clark's fans to call out the WNBA and the referees, and for the video to go viral, in order for the WNBA to stand up and do something? Now, all of a sudden, because Alyssa Thomas was called out on her egregious act against Caitlin Clark, somehow it's about race. We got to protect the Black women in politics. My podcast is named Wokeitis because of the extreme left and the extreme right. It's like these folks have absolutely lost their minds. There's no empathy or sympathy for anyone who disagrees with them or does not share their political beliefs. They are so indoctrinated by their political beliefs and affiliation to a party that they've lost all of humanity and empathy. They stopped being decent human beings a very long time ago. In fact, I think most of them are mentally ill. That's what the itis is for. Now, how is it that Alyssa purposely, because it was not an accident, purposely putting her fist in Caitlin Clark's neck, somehow it began to be about race? Oh, this is because they're racist. Caitlin Clark fans are Republican, MAGA hat wearing racists. How about you should not be attempting to hurt another player? Alyssa Thomas is a great basketball player. Yes, she is. I think she's one of the best. But she's also a dirty player. This is not the first time that she's done something like this. She clotheslined Angel Reese dropped her to the ground, to the court. Angel hit her head because she could have had a concussion. She could have gotten a neck injury, anything. She was called for that foul, but that's not the point. This is a pattern for Alyssa. And no Black woman talking sports, whether they be a veteran player or whether they be someone who is just delusional, you can't defend what's indefensible. You just can't. Alyssa Thomas is a dirty player. Yes, she's great. She's also dirty. AT didn't even go to check on Angel to make sure she was okay after she clotheslined her, dropped her on the court. But now it's protect Black women? I don't think so. Now, the WNBA, they're trying to push a false narrative in the media and saying that Caitlin Clark fans are calling out Thomas, or AT as she's nicknamed, because she's Black and Caitlin is white. They want you to believe that Caitlin Clark fans are MAGA Trump supporters, Republicans, and just downright racist. Because somehow they're calling out the fact that AT took a cheap shot at Caitlin Clark and it was not called until the next day. Now, this is a league, the WNBA. They're just another arm of the Democratic Party. Everything about them is liberal. All of their talking points is liberal. These are supposed to be your social justice warriors, these women. Now, in February of 2017, WNBA player Candice Wiggins, who was a third overall pick in 2008, she sat down and she spoke with the San Diego Union Tribune. And she spoke about how she had abruptly retired. Like, Candice was only 29. She abruptly retired. She said her mental could no longer take it. She spoke about being targeted, about being bullied, about feeling like they were trying to injure her on the court, that these were not fouls that she was taking. These were off the ball fouls, that they were just attacks upon her, cheap shots. So she decided to leave the league. Well, she was met with pushback. There were your veterans players in the league saying it's not true. The reality is, because she was a third round pick in 2008, she didn't live up to her expectations. And because of that, that was the reason why she was saying this. This is what the veterans were saying. Okay, this is Candice's lived experience. But the veterans of the league wanted you to believe that the reason that she was having these complaints was because she basically was not a top player. Okay. The very next year, in 2018, Skylar Diggins Smith said she played the entire 2018 season without telling anyone that she was pregnant. No one on the team, nobody in coach, no one knew she was pregnant. The next year in April, she gave birth to a baby boy. When it was time for her to report back, she spoke to the league and let them know that she was having mental and physical problems. She was battling postpartum depression, and basically she needed help with her mental health, and she felt like she was ignored. In fact, she was criticized. She was called a quitter and so many other names because she was trying to take care of her mental health. But this is supposed to be a league, a women's league, where these women are supposed to be social justice warriors. They're just another arm of the Democratic Party. They protect Black women. The DEI programs. They come with the the women's mental health and Black women being discriminated in the workplace. Wait a minute. And this is what they're doing to a Black woman who just gave birth to a baby. Interesting. Another example of this very liberal WNBA league where they love women. Deborah Hamby in 2023, just 3 years ago, says that she was discriminated against because she was pregnant. She made her allegations public. She went on Instagram and she spoke about how she was being discriminated against, how they were lying on her name, they were putting false information out in the press against her, all of these things because she was pregnant. Who was the person spearheading? The coach, Becky Hammond, a white woman. The league did an investigation, spoke to about 33, 34 people, that's players, coaches, everybody, whoever, witnesses. They received, they went through text messages, they went through emails, they went through all forms of communication. And they found out that what Deborah was saying was in fact the truth. Becky Hammond, her discipline was a 2-day suspension without pay. And the team lost their 2024 first round pick. That's it. Remember, they want you to believe, they being the WNBA, want you to believe that they protect Black women. Really? Those are 3 different Black women that the WNBA did not protect. And this was not in the 90s or early 2000s. This was within the last 10 years. As recent as 3 years ago. What are the talking points of the liberals? Just wait. We're coming up on midterms. And we're going to see. They're going to lead with the exact same talking points. Protect Black women. The child mortality rate with Black women being discriminated in the workplace. The unemployment of Black women. Mental health of Black women. And the reproductive rights of Black women. It's the same talking points. Every single thing that their talking points are is exactly what they did to 3 WNBA players within the last 10 years. So for them to say now that because Caitlin Clark is so popular and her fans are calling out the WNBA for their nonchalant approach to handling these players who are targeting other players. To call it racist is disingenuous. At some point, we have to talk about the problem and we got to be honest about it. Now, mind you, the same WNBA that had a problem with 2 of the 3 women that I just mentioned in their pregnancies had no problem, in fact, celebrating Brittany Griner's wife pregnancy announcement. Oh, this is mainstream news. It's a celebration. But 2 different Black women. One had to hide her pregnancy, and the other one was discriminated because of her pregnancy in the league. This is a woman's league where women apparently are not supposed to get pregnant, but a gay woman, wife, can give birth while she's in the league, and it's a celebration. This is a women's league. And straight women get pregnant. Imagine that. And straight women get pregnant. Imagine that. Imagine a woman losing her job because she got pregnant in a league that is championed, according to them, for women's rights. Incredible. There's a toxic culture within the WNBA league, and many will not speak about it, but those who did speak about it receive harsh criticism, but it is absolutely a conversation that needs to be had. Many people walked away from the WNBA because of the culture that these people were upholding. These people, the leadership, the WNBA leadership. There's a toxic culture within the WNBA that needs to be addressed. It's been going on for a very long time, and it is the number one thing that turned off most fans from the WNBA was their toxic culture. The WNBA has been known to be pro LGBT plus community, anti-Black, anti-heterosexual. And this is what turned off many people. Back in 2014, the WNBA was the first league to implement a LGBTQ plus program. 2 years later, in 2016, three WNBA teams, the New York Liberty, the Phoenix Mercury, and the Indiana Fever, all three teams decided to wear Black Lives Matter t-shirts while they were warming up. Each team was hit with a $5,000 fine, and each player was met with a $500 fine. Well, of course, after protest and people making their voices known, especially highlighting the hypocrisy of the WNBA being pro LGBTP plus, I don't remember all the letters, and I don't mean any disrespect, but they were pro the LGBT community and anti-Black. And whether they say they're not anti-Black or not, that is the message that was received. According to the league, the players were in violation of the uniform policy because the league were only allowed to wear Adidas. But the players and people alike highlighted the fact, well, they promote everything else. Remember, these are your social justice warriors. These are your liberals, another arm of the Democratic Party. But they had a problem with Black people, these same Black women that they're now pretending that they're going to protect, since apparently Alyssa Thomas is now the victim and not Caitlin Clark. Now, the same day that Alyssa Thomas received her flagrant 2 and 1 game suspension, the WNBA released their 30-year poster, and Caitlin Clark is not on the poster. They didn't give an explanation to why Caitlin, who is literally the most popular player in the WNBA right now in 2026, her picture is not included on the poster. If the problem is not with the WNBA leadership, then who is the problem with? Here is Caitlin Clark's teammate, Sophie Cunningham, saying that she was fine before for speaking out on Caitlin's behalf. And she's saying that Caitlin is definitely being targeted, and the league and the referees are doing nothing about it. She's on the Show Me Something podcast. Take a listen.
Well, so during real time last night, I did not see that happen. I don't, none of our team saw it happen, because I promise you, if we would have seen that happen, we would have had her back. Unfortunately, this type of shit happens every single game to her, and the league and the refs do absolutely nothing about it.
It's been a minute since you got fined on this podcast.
I have, but then you see the videos of literally kneeing and cheap shotting C in the throat. Like if she did that to any of our teammates, we'd be pissed. But like they're definitely targeting her, and the league and the refs do nothing to protect her.
And finally, we have a word from WNBA legend Lisa Leslie, Compton born and raised. She was in the WNBA, since from 1997 when it started until 2009. She is a Hall of Famer. She's also in the Women's League of Hall of Fame. She is a 3-time MVP, 2-time champ. She was voted by ESPN as the 5th best player that the WNBA has ever seen. If I'm being honest, I think Lisa would be a great candidate to lead the league, the WNBA, in a new direction. She would be great to do this. She was also a coach with the Big Three. Lisa Leslie knows her way around basketball, and more importantly, she knows her way about the business and the culture of it. I think she would be great to lead the league, especially considering the 2024 class is the class that really and truly revamped the league. Now, here is Lisa giving her word on we need to talk to WNBA, and she's speaking about the culture of the league. She's speaking about leadership in the league. She's speaking about players in the league. And the conversation is because of the Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas flagrant foul 2 that was not called. Thank you guys for listening to my podcast. I'm going to head out on this. Listen to Lisa. Thank you.
All right, ladies, your thoughts just as the league continues to work through what many perceive as consistency issues, especially when it comes to games being officiated, Lisa.
Well, officiating is tough. I don't know if anybody's ever even tried to officiate. It's not the easiest game. It's one of the most thankless jobs you can do. But in this particular situation, I thought that the last official should have been able to catch that. I was actually watching this game, and I was like, oh, wow, that was a bit much. So in that moment, I thought that the official missed the call. I'm not surprised that the league went back and fined Alyssa Thomas. But I think at the same time, it's tough to think that official would have missed that they didn't have a replay on it. That was tough to me. And I think overall, the league's got to do better. The officials have got to do better, but also players. Players have to clean it up. We used to play in a way that you protected one another. Yeah, I want to play physical. I want to play hard, but I'm not out here trying to hurt you. If I was out there for a loose ball and it was Renee down there, yeah, I'm going for the ball, but if I accidentally punched Renee or hit her in some kind of way, maybe the play goes on, but I help her up. I help her up. You know what I mean? Just out of the like, dang, my bad. You know, so I think that part is important too, the reaction. Maybe if Alyssa Thomas would have even turned like, dang, my bad, I didn't mean to hit you like that. It's a different thing, but that's not what happened. And so I think that the league got it right. But I think overall, Coach Tibbetts is correct. Everything, consistency is important. It needs to be cleaned up for all players, regardless of what their accolades are. None of that part matters. It matters about protecting these players, no matter which team, which position, when they sub in, the start of the game to the end of the game. Every player deserves the same type of protection.
Go, Liv, go!